Okay, Ms. Johnson, the meeting's recording, and let me pull up that agenda.
Luckily, I have it here as well, so,
I'll still go ahead and display it.
okay. All right, it is 5:02, and I'm calling to order the Northpoint Charter School Governance Board on December 18th, 2024. Can I please have a roll call?
Yes, Eileen Johnson,
Here.
Anthony Padilla.
Yeah,
Oh, you're there. Hi, Anthony. Deborah Burns, not here. Lisa Barenberg.
She had to switch to her laptop, so she'll be right back.
Elise Hodges
Here.
and Deborah Jensen here. So Elise, it's with 2 E's.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay.
actually Elize.
Oh,
Oh, LSA, okay.
it's beautiful. Okay,
All
I
right,
will
well,
have
we
a hard
should make
time
sure we say it
remembering
right
that.
then.
I'll confess, but it's very
Yeah.
pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, LSA. All right.
All right, will you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did everyone have a chance to review the agenda? Are there any changes you'd like to propose?
no changes.
Okay,
I see.
all right, could I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I motion to adopt the agenda as it is.
Can we get a second?
This is Deborah Jensen. I'll do that. Just 1 second.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay. Eileen Johnson,
Aye.
Anthony Padilla,
Aye.
Ellis
LSA.
Hodges,
Agree.
Deborah Jensen, aye.
All right, and I don't see Lisa Barenberg back on yet, so. Okay, all right, I don't see any members present for public comment.
No one registered for public comment.
Okay, all right. And so we don't have to state what we were looking for public comment on. All right, does anyone have any changes to the consent agenda? No changes heard. Could I get a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
This is Deborah Jensen. I'll make a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
May I get a second?
This is Anthony Padilla. I second the motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Okay, Eileen Johnson,
Aye.
Anthony Padilla,
Aye.
Eliza Hodges,
Yes.
Deborah Jensen, aye.
Wonderful. And so we'll skip 5 since we didn't remove anything. All right, the financial management. The finance committee met right before this. There were no bars. There was nothing necessarily of note other than the issue from last month where the number of months of funding that we hold was corrected. And so I think we discussed that on last month's meeting, and that's correct now. So, all right. Business manager.
So the issue from last month about the number of months of funding, and
Yep.
it was corrected too.
Yes. I don't know that we usually put that in, but it was corrected.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Marie, Sammy, do you want to give the business manager report?
Well, good evening, everyone. We did review the reports in the finance committee meeting. Just of note in this forum, there were no bars. the liquidity of the statement was was corrected as stated, and the bank was reconciled. So
Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, 7, academic performance. Lisa, do you want to give the executive director report?
Yes, ma'am. If it's all right, Miss Johnson, Miss Boma and Miss Marquez, if you're always welcome to stay. But that
yes.
the finance, if you would like to jump off, then happy holidays and we'll see you back in January.
absolutely, and happy holidays to all of you as well.
Happy holidays. Thank you, Lisa.
Hey,
I
Lisa,
hate to
sorry.
make them stay longer than they need to.
What is Marie's last name?
It's Boma, B-O-U-M-A.
Okay. Sorry, it just comes up as Marie.
That's okay.
Okay.
First of all, Miss Dixon is not joining us tonight because she'll be pulling end of semester data on Friday. So she didn't pull it in advance of this meeting and therefore had nothing to report tonight. So you can expect a semester end report from her in January.
Okay, great.
Okay. Enrollment. Right now today, enrollment stands at 143. Our 40-day count was 144. Our 80-day count was 145. As expected, we're seeing some churn at the end of the semester. We did lose 2 students that decided to pursue a GED. 1 student was disenrolled for non-attendance. We did have a new student that began with us in late November, which is unusual. At this point in the year, they generally wait until January. But she couldn't wait. She started with us now. We do have 4 students that are already registered to begin in January that are not included in that enrollment count. They won't show up until they actually begin classes. However, we're going to lose more in January. We know that we've got 2 students moving to a traditional high school, and we have 1 student moving to Japan. So there's fluctuation, but the overall number is still holding fairly steady. Any questions about enrollment? No? Okay.
So hold it. 144 for 40-day, 145 for 80-day.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Debbie.
Let Miss Berenberg back in.
At 5:10.
Yes, ma'am. All right, I'm just writing that down too. We're tag teaming between the 2 of us. We'll get good notes.
Okay.
All right, recruitment. I wanted to report that we've been really focusing on those personalized student tours, and we're seeing a really good conversion rate there. We've given 13 tours since mid-October. 1 student was touring for 9th grade next year. So when I removed him from the count, that left 12 tours, and 6 of those tours were converted for enrollment,
Excellent.
which is 50% rate. Now technically 1 enrolled and came for 1 day and said, this is not for me, and disenrolled, which drops the conversion rate to 42, but he did still enroll, so I'm counting it and I'm sticking with the 50.
Okay, so hold it. So 13 tours were given, you said, in 1 month?
No, since mid-October, so in the
Oh.
last 2 months.
So 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, and there were 6 enrollments.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty good.
We are going to be delivering the 8th grade flyers. You remember the last couple of years, we've done personalized recruitment presentations to charter 8th grade students. We had some requests this year from other schools to bring students to do those tours.
Oh,
And
excellent.
well, yes and no. It was excellent, an excellent idea, but after checking with our lawyer, it's not an advisable idea because of the liability issues in transport. And so I can also state that over the last 2 years while we've done them, I can't point to a single return on investment there. No direct enrollees from those presentations. So rather than do the presentations, we will be just delivering flyers to those schools, and they'll be distributing them to their students to take home. That again offer personalized tours, and we'll launch those in January after our new student application is live. So that if they're interested, there's no delay and they can apply right away. We've also booked a spot at the school choice fair in late January and are planning an open house. About 2 weeks later, we're looking to do a combined open house with the other school in the building. Most likely, details are to be finalized, but most likely on a Saturday. And bring in pizzas and different activities to attract the public to come in and take a look.
You mean with Renaissance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
If you need any, board member help, let us know.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I just, we're
Okay.
still finalizing details there.
We can sit on the side with the, sit on the street with signs. I'm just kidding.
Polo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Corner.
Yeah.
I did also meet with another charter leader who had shared with me some enrollment success that she had had over the last 3 years. And she was gracious enough to give me an hour of her time and share her strategies and the company that she had partnered with to do that. So I met with that company yesterday, and they have some really intriguing and affordable methods that we could use to help boost our enrollment. This charter leader shared with me that the biggest success, she increased it by 45 students over 3 years. And she shared with me that the biggest payoff was in Google pay-per-click ads and social media ads, which I know we've discussed, but are not currently running. And
Right.
so this company that she referred me to has I'll call it a buffet style program where I can say I'd like this, but not that, so that we're not having overlap with our existing marketing company.
Excellent. Yeah.
And they would be very willing to help us with those particular types of ads.
Okay.
More will be coming on that, but I'm waiting on their finalized quote, but they did share pricing strategies with me during the meeting, and I believe it's very.
Is there a number that we're trying to get to? Like, is there what level we are trying to get to? We have 160-ish right now, 140?
145-ish,
145?
and we would like to add at least 30 students to that.
Okay, so there is a target number that we're going
Yes,
at. Okay.
What was our highest enrollment again? That we don't want to get to?
Cap is 240.
Okay.
Is the cap. Before COVID, we were hovering around 185, 190, right in there. And then it had been declining. I understand it had been declining prior to that, just slowly, and then a big hit after COVID, and it's just been hard to recover.
Mhm.
On top of that, I also met with our current marketing company with McKee Woolworth. We met with them on Monday. Ms. Burns was able to join us, and we reviewed our current services with them, strategies for engagement to increase enrollment. We talked about those exact target numbers, and they will have further recommendations for us ready in early January. Of course, everything feels longer because of the holiday break.
Yeah.
I also, as I shared previously, I did attend the Grow Enrollment Summit. It was back in November. I did have a meeting scheduled with them for personal recommendations in December, and he needed to reschedule, so it's been moved to January. But it's in early January, so that's another avenue that we can explore and see how else we can improve on that recruitment effort. Any questions about recruitment?
so you said Grow and Enroll Summit,
It was the Grow Enrollment.
Grow Enroll Summit. And you'll meet in January. Sorry.
Yes, well, the meeting's scheduled January 8th.
Well, I tell you what, with those new basketball uniforms, you're gonna get some recruitment.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They're
Are they cool?
fancy.
All right, I need to see.
Okay. Next up, we have the Cognia accreditation review. I'm very pleased to report that's going incredibly well. Ms. Dixon and I met with our coach again this morning, and she's completing just a couple of final evidence uploads, but we've completed all sections of the self-assessment and the reflection narratives. And that's essentially complete. The actual Cognia accreditation review is scheduled on January 28th. It's a virtual review where we do it on Zoom. And I will ask for GC support there. They will need to have a focus group of, they're going to do students and teachers, but they'd also like parents and governing board members. They asked that we avoid having a quorum present. So we can't have more than 3 attend the GC group. And we're also fortunate enough to have a number of our GC members that also are parents. So for those of 4 of you that applies to, if you could choose, you could either be on the parent group if you're able to come that day. You could either be on the parent or on the GC group, but they'd prefer that you were only on one and didn't attend both sessions. Because it's going to be virtual and on Zoom, we will have a camera set up here and do it in a room if you would like to come on campus, but you're also free to join from wherever you are so that you don't have to take off work to attend.
Where is
Okay.
it? What time is it?
We get some flexibility there. So I was going to ask you guys what time works best for the GC group. It could be any time from 9 a.m. through about 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
And how long is the meeting gonna be?
30 minutes.
I can
What day
do
is
any
it?
time. I can do any time during there, and obviously I'll be the GC side, not the parent side.
Okay.
What day is it?
It is on January 28th.
And that's a Tuesday. I had to look it up on my calendar.
It is a Tuesday. I was gonna check right now.
Yeah, you said January. Oh, I thought you said January 25th. January 28th is a Tuesday. I
I could do a 10. If you need me, just tell me if you want me on the parents one or this one.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I can do either one and I can make that entire time period. I'm very flexible.
Okay. Mr. Padilla, do you know if you have availability on that day?
I do have availability on that day, and I'm also free to do either the GC or the parent.
Is this like the meeting that we did? I'm trying to remember when we were interviewed, I don't know, 6 months ago? Is it that same?
You were, last one I remember would have been for maybe the site visit.
Yeah,
Um,
the site visit.
It'll
Yeah.
be similar to that, although with a different focus. The site visit is focused more on compliance. And this is the Cognia, which we're gonna have again in March. So you'll have to do that one too. This one is for that Cognia accreditation, which is, the focus of that is continuous improvement. And so they look at the school's goals, how we examine data, what we do with it, what strategies we're using for continuous improvement. And so the focus of the meeting will be on that, on how the school is striving towards continuous improvement, what gains you might have seen, what areas you think that the school can best improve. So it would be questions structured around that.
Okay. So, I mean, just for a GC perspective, I don't know, Eliza and Lisa Bernberg, I don't know how long your kids have gone to the school, but I feel like since you're so new on the board, it might be better if you were on the parent side. Just from that perspective, right? And I know when I did the meeting 6 months ago, it was helpful that I'd been here a couple of years. And so, you know, we were super knowledgeable about the GC and how we interacted with Lisa. And so that was, I thought it was helpful to have been here for a few years for that. But I mean, obviously, whatever you want to sign up for is cool too.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the exact same thing. And my daughter's, this is her second semester, so she was in the spring and then now she's back.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, thank you. Deb Jensen, I know that your job may be a barrier to being able to attend during the day, and that's okay. So thank you guys for the times. I will put together a schedule and I'll send it out to you. I heard from Ms. Hodges that 10 o'clock worked well, and the others seem to have a little bit more flexibility in their day. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. I'll be in touch in probably not this week, so in early January with the times for that, and I'll send you calendar invites so that you can plan on it. And once I have the link for the meeting, I'll forward that as well.
Thank you. I just put it in my calendar for 9 to 1 on the 28th of January, so that I don't put anything else on top of it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
For school business, I would,
Sorry, Lisa, I was trying to unmute and I couldn't find the mute button. Would, if you would send the times, I will try to see if there's one of those that I can squeeze in and kind of rearrange things.
okay, thank you. I'll send you the times and the link, and if you can make it, that'd be great.
They're just these little windows, but I can try to slide in.
Okay, I
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't ask, were there any questions about the Cognia process so far?
No.
So Lisa, so who did you and Denise, is it you and Denise, Ms. Dixon met with who?
Oh, we have a coach that's provided by Cognia that
Okay.
we've been meeting with her monthly since we began the process. It's kind of a check-in, keep us on track on timelines, answer any questions. And she also provides reviews of everything that we've submitted. She reads
Okay.
it first and provides feedback, and then all of her feedback has already been incorporated into the documents.
Okay, and you said you met with her when?
Every month. We met with her actually today for the
Okay,
last
that's
one.
what you said. I was thinking, you just said that you just recently met with her. Okay,
Yeah, it was this morning.
okay,
But we will have a more detailed report for you on that, probably in January, but definitely in February on the results of all of our analysis and the stakeholder feedback, which was quite positive. It was really nice to see that the entire community, parents and students and staff members are all seeing the school as having an extremely supportive culture. And so we'll have more detailed feedback for you soon. Then for school business. Unfortunately, we've had a long-standing memorandum of understanding with APS for our extended learning credit recovery classes since 2014. And this month they canceled our MOU because APS has the E-Academy. They've written a policy for themselves that says that their credit recovery will be through the E-Academy unless students have prior approval to take credit recovery elsewhere. So we are working on a letter and permission form that we'll be sending to the principals and counselors at all local high schools that gives them an easy parent permission form so that they can continue to utilize our credit recovery program and promote their own graduation rates by making sure their kids finish on time.
how many
So
students,
proactive. Thank you.
how many students come to the school for credit recovery from APS?
Uh,
You don't have to give an exact number.
Last year, we had about 200 students enrolled in credit recovery.
Okay.
Oh,
Now that's not all from APS, some could be from other charter schools. That's just total. So, so us providing that option for schools and an easy way for them to provide permission, I think will really benefit the school and benefit their students.
So who are you approaching about that process?
We're sending it to the principals and counselors at all the local high schools. The principals would have to give that prior approval for students to take classes here. So we're just providing them an easy form where they can provide that permission.
Oh, even if they're APS schools?
Yes, the policy stated that the APS schools should use their own academy for credit recovery unless they had prior permission to use a different model.
Oh, I see, okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So those numbers don't count in our enrollment, right?
No,
Okay. Do we receive any sort of funding for those?
the students themselves, the families pay directly for those classes.
Okay, all right,
And
And-
the school has offered since inception.
okay. And then, have we done the analysis to make sure that the amount of money that we receive in is beneficial to the school as far as resources?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
It's definitely beneficial and a program we would like to continue.
Okay, all right, excellent.
But that's an
I
excellent
mean,
question.
yeah, we like our curriculum anyway, so let's share it when we can, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and it also has been a recruitment tool in the past. There are students that come and try a credit recovery class. They're not all for credit recovery. Some students want to get ahead or get a class out of the way. Others are here because they didn't get a good grade and need to retake the class. But we've enrolled students who came and tried that and are like, hey, I like learning this way, and then became students of ours. So it's something we do want to continue.
Right, okay. All right, thanks.
Yes, ma'am, that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right, number 8, governance. So, discussion and action on the Title I school parent and family engagement policy and agreement.
Yes,
I did
ma'am.
not get a chance to read the updated. Was this the one that you sent an updated?
No, that one was already complete. I can
Okay.
provide an update.
It was the lottery, I think that was,
That's the one that was,
yeah,
the Title I Parent and Family Engagement Policy, has been completely reviewed by Sue Fox, and her feedback has been implemented and it's been given the stamp of approval. It is a requirement under Title I that we have these specific policies that have been passed by the board, and a parent compact that states how everyone is responsible for academic success, how the school is responsible, how administration is responsible, the teachers, the parent, the student. So this has all been written and, like I said, approved by Ms. Fox. And it came to my attention because we have a self-monitoring tool for Title I that is due in January. And as I began working through that to respond to the monitoring tool, I realized we did not have some of these policies in place. It has already been on the agenda earlier this year and then again this evening for parent feedback. There's been no formal parent feedback to incorporate.
Okay.
I'm happy to pull up the policy if you'd like to look at it in more detail. It's the same one that was sent in your packet.
Yeah.
Or are there?
yeah, let's take a look at it just so we have it in front of us when we do an action.
This reviews the overview of what it is and what we need to do. There is one change. Thank you for having us bring this up. There is one change here. Ms. Fox said, we shouldn't identify as the only school in the district because that can be confused with being part of APS. And instead to
Mhm.
use the word LEA here, or local education agency. And so this wording here will need to be updated to say LEA. And I apologize, I only got that feedback yesterday and I incorporated it on my document and neglected to share the updated one. I have this marked as being approved, hopefully tonight on December 18th. Parent and family members have been invited to attend opportunities for feedback. It will be distributed to everyone on the website and available in the office. And it will need to be reviewed annually with an opportunity for stakeholder feedback. This section in policy involvement talks about how we will provide opportunities for families to be involved. Section B is how we will build families' capacity to be involved by providing resources and information so they're better equipped to understand the academic information and help their child. How we make participation accessible. And then this is the actual compact. Says that the school will provide a high quality curriculum, maintain a respectful relationship, hold students accountable for high quality work. And then some more more specific items regarding our curriculum and delivery model. That will provide professional development to teachers, opportunities for parent and family input, that will hold parent-teacher conferences, provide frequent reports to families on their students' progress, provide parents with reasonable access to staff and opportunities to volunteer or participate. And then it moves into the parents. And I'm sorry, was there a question?
No, sorry, Anthony was talking.
That the parents will also maintain a respectful partnership with the school, ensure that their children are on time and attend according to their schedule, provide current contact information for emergencies, that they'll be involved in their child's education by reading progress updates and attending parent meetings, that they'll communicate with the sponsor teacher if they have questions or concerns, and attend and be part of the school advisory groups as they're able to. And then the student will also maintain a respectful relationship, be on time, maintain progress, follow requirements for behavior and academics, communicate with the teachers and staff when they need assistance, and communicate school information to their family.
I really like it. Thank you for going over it, Lisa.
Yes, ma'am. There's
Can I
also,
get, oh, go ahead.
sorry, there's also an additional document because the version I just shared is lengthy and prohibitive. And so to make it more accessible to families and something that everyone might read, we have this shorter version. Ms. Fox also approved this, that we can use this statement. It says this is a summary of the full version and the full version is available, but we will include this condensed version in registration packets. So when you come to those opening conferences, it'll be reviewed with your sponsor teacher and everybody can sign right there.
Excellent.
That's it. Now
Okay.
you can go.
Thank you. All right, can I have a motion to approve the Title I School Parent and Family Engagement Policy and Agreement?
I'll make a motion to approve the Title I School Parent and Family Engagement Policy and Agreement with the change of district to LEA. Is that right?
All right, can I have a second?
Anthony, I second the motion.
Okay. One moment. Okay, Eileen Johnson,
Aye.
Anthony Padilla,
Aye.
Lisa Berenberg,
I,
LSA Hodges,
Yes.
and Deborah Jensen. Aye.
Thank you. All right, the bullying prevention policy updated language.
For this is just in response to the requirements of HB 43 and the Black Education Act. We already have this policy in place, and what we're required to do is include the specific term of racialized aggression.
Okay.
And that's the highlighted part here. And the definition of racialized aggression, which is defined as any aggressive act which can be characterized, categorized, or which appears as such to be racial in nature and is strictly prohibited.
Okay.
And that's the required language, so it was inserted in our existing bullying policy with the definition as required. And then part of the policy includes this statement that's published in the student handbook. And so again, it just adds in the term racialized aggression.
And did you change the student handbook as well?
Yes, that's next for approval.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
So those were the only changes made, just to be in compliance with the HB 43.
Can I get a motion to approve the updated bullying prevention policy language as presented?
This is Anthony. Make a motion to approve the updated bully prevention policy as displayed.
Can I get a second?
Deborah Jensen is a second. Eileen Johnson,
Aye.
Anthony Padilla,
Aye.
Lisa Berenberg,
I,
LSA Hodges,
Aye.
Deborah Jensen. Aye.
Thank you. All right, the student handbook updates.
For the student handbook updates, I included in your packets that summary form that just kind of summarizes all the changes made. For the student behavior handbook, I would like to change the name from student behavior handbook to student handbook. It would include the bullying policy changes just approved on page 17 of the student handbook. It updates the discipline rubric that is included on page 24 to include that term racialized aggression. Right here. And then this change, it would need to include some Title I procedures. And we just passed the Title I policy that is also part of that self-monitoring tool. These are some specific procedures that didn't really need to be policy, they're more internal, but I'd like to include this language in the student handbook so that we have it published that we do those things. And let me pull that up for you. You can see the language again. It was in your handouts. And it's the yellow highlights here. That Northpoint Charter will award partial credit for work completed to students identified as adjudicated or mobile who experience classroom disruption. That will ensure students in foster care have a best interest determination for school placement within 2 business days. That we will contact an enrolling school within 1 business day following a best interest determination. If it's decided the best interest of the student would be to go to a different school, then we would make sure to contact them within 1 day to facilitate that student's enrollment. And that we can utilize Title I or operational funds as needed to facilitate transportation for students in foster care, as determined by the executive director and the student's caseworker. So those are Title I procedures. And then the last bit that I'd request for handbook updates is I'd like to update the language on page 8 under student expectations and parent responsibilities on page 15 to align with that school family compact language that we just approved. Any questions about those changes?
I don't have any. Anybody else?
No,
Nope.
Okay. All right, can I have a motion to approve the student handbook updates as presented?
this is Deborah Jensen. I'll make a motion to approve the student handbook updates as presented.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
I second the motion for the update on the student handbook.
So that
Thank
is
you.
Ms. Hodges, is that right?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't see
Yes.
you. Okay, I need to get used to I mean, voices. Okay, Hodges. Okay, Eileen Johnson,
Hi.
Anthony Padilla,
Aye.
Lisa Berenberg,
I,
Ellis, sorry, say it again, LSA?
Yes,
LSA.
or release, either one, but I agree.
I want to say it right, LSA. It's, how did you say it? I want to say it right.
LSA?
LSA Hodges.
Yes.
Deborah Jensen, I.
All right, thank you. All right, the lottery and admission policy updates.
Okay, for the lottery and admission policy updates, this also is something that came up as a PED requirement. I received notice last Monday that we needed to upload our lottery and enrollment and admission, no, it said enrollment, lottery and enrollment policies. And so as I began looking into what we had for the policies, the existing policies did not meet all of the requirements. So I took this from the governing board policy manual. In section J1, this is what it currently says. And in section J2, it lists our enrollment requirements. So they're actually not significant changes. This is what's proposed. Under section J1, it still is stating that students will attend by randomized lottery, and that if we have more students apply than we have seats available, the students are placed on a waiting list. This section here was previously listed under J2 for enrollment, but this actually belongs under the lottery under J1 because it explains how we'll identify how many seats we have available when we do the lottery each year. So all I did was move it from J2 to J1. And then I updated the priority placement according to current rules, which are that returning students have first priority. Their seats are automatically renewed when they indicate they're going to return. Then the newer rule is children of current employees of the school have the second priority. And then siblings of students currently enrolled have the third priority, and then all other applicants. So the children of current employees and is new. It already said the siblings. And then I also added the when the lottery is held as part of the requirements of the policy. We open applications in January and the lottery is held in March. And this last section explains what we already do, but just wasn't in writing, that we do admit students to the school throughout the year, provided we have seats available. Once the lottery is held, students are admitted on a first come, first served basis and up to enrollment capacity. And if we're at capacity, then they're put on the wait list unless a seat opens up and then they're notified. So that's the changes I made to J1 in the policy manual. And then J2 is, this was just as was in the policy. The language here in paragraph 2 was updated a bit to clean up the language here, that they schedule an appointment with their sponsor teacher And they complete a next step plan, design a schedule, and review policies. This was a previously passed policy, so it's just included again that we do not accept enrollment from students who are currently expelled or suspended until that term is up. So those are the changes I made to those policies that would go in the governing board policy manual. In addition, and this is what I just sent out today, I apologize for the delay, I didn't have it finished. This is what the board would have to approve the policy, but I also included just the procedures. The procedures don't have to be approved, they're more just internal workings. And I actually wouldn't want them approved because if we had to change anything, it would have to come back to the board. So this is just an internal, but for transparency, I would also upload these procedures to the Charter Schools Division so they can see how we handle each of those things. So we use an online platform for a randomized lottery. Returning students complete their notice to return in the spring. New applications are available in January. This states by law what we're allowed to ask students to. We can't collect any further or additional information that could cause us to deny a student enrollment. The theory of that is like maybe if they're from a certain zip code or if they attended a certain school that we might not want to admit those students. And so we just don't ask for that information at all. So it's not a factor. And then this states when the lottery is held, how it's held, how we notify students of a seat placement or a wait list placement, and what we do after the lottery has been held, which again is if there's seats available, they're sent a registration packet. If there's not, they're placed on the wait list. So that's the lottery and enrollment policy. And that's the lottery policy. The enrollment, and I think I used the word admission on the agenda, is again, those are the same requirements we already went over. And again, here are the procedures which are separate from the actual policy. It just gives the step-by-step of how we do it. So, would you like me to go over it or?
I don't need you to.
Okay.
No.
Well
Okay.
done. I wish we had to use the lottery.
I do too.
Soon.
Positive thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can I have a motion for the lottery and admission or enrollment policy updates? Policies updates.
This is Deborah Jensen. I'll make a motion to approve the lottery and admission/enrollment policy update.
Can I
This
have a
is,
second?
this is Anthony Padilla. I second that motion.
Thank you.
Eileen Johnson,
Aye.
Anthony Padilla,
Aye.
Lisa Barenberg,
I,
Elizabeth Hodges,
I,
Deborah Jensen, I.
All right. Board development.
Just a reminder, returning members, you need 5 hours of training. Everybody got one from the finance training that we did. I know Ms. Burns has completed some training. Mr. Padilla is now leading the pack to the best of my knowledge because he got all of his training at the charter conference last week.
Oh,
So-
how was it, Anthony?
It was good. There's a lot of good information.
Yeah.
Some stuff that I want to look at, but that's for another time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll work on it over break here.
And
Yeah.
as our newest members, LSA and Lisa, you should have received an email from the Charter Schools Division with access to the Canvas account. So if you have any difficulty with it, please let me know. I'm happy to facilitate help, although I have no power to do anything with it myself. And you do have officially you have until June 30th, but we are more fond of saying you have until the end of May to complete all training because then it doesn't make me want to cry.
Perfect. We don't want you to cry.
Thank you.
All right, just a reminder then that the March meeting was moved from March 19th to March 26th. Any other announcements or comments from the board?
No, but I thought that, why is 3 hours in my brain, not 5?
I don't know. It used to be 8 hours and now it's 5. So maybe you remember that it's 3 less than it used to be.
No, I thought that, did we get credit for doing something or?
You attended the finance training from K-12, which gives you.
No, I know, but
number in
like, I
Finance.
don't know. Okay, so we need 4 more hours.
Mhm.
Yes, and they have to be in the new specific categories.
Okay, and are those immediately obvious when we're signing up?
Yes, when you sign up, they're listed. I can resend you the list of trainings from CSD. Charter
Is that
School Division.
is that with Melissa?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I can go back and search it, but if it's there and you can send it to the top of the list, that'd be great.
sure, I'll resend it to you, and the different categories, if I remember correctly, are named at the top.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll figure it out.
where
I
you
just
sign
don't
up
need
for
the
full
finance. Yeah,
session.
it's fine. I'll figure it out.
All right, our next regular meeting is January 15th at 5 o'clock via Zoom. And we are adjourned at 5:53.
What?
I know.
I am stopping